What is going on? This is Casually Crypto here with a quick crash course on DeFi liquidity pools. Thank you for joining me for this episode. I feel very compelled to do a casually explain this description on what is a DeFi liquidity pool. There's a lot of people buying into liquidity pools, a lot of people going to yield farming, and unfortunately, a lot of these people have no idea what they are getting into, and this is one. But before we begin, just want to let you know that this video is for entertainment and educational purposes. Crypto is volatile. Yield farming is even more volatile. The liquidity pool is volatile as well too. So just invest in your own risk and speak to a professional advisor. Speak to a professional advisor for professional advice. So yeah, so if you really enjoy these videos, I do recommend you guys to like and subscribe. Stand. So and it's important to always grow in your knowledge. So with that aside, let's get started. So DeFi finance, right? Right now, there's this whole hype about liquidity pools and staking your crypto, staking pairs to get an interest, and the whole idea of this liquidity pool goes around the idea of an automatic market maker or AMM, basically a decentralized exchange, right? So picture these exchanges as like an ATM, right, where instead of being owned by a big bank or operated and funded by a big bank, they are funded by people like you, right? People like you, where you are lending your crypto, you're lending your Bitcoin, you're lending your ETH. Usually you lend them in pairs, right? And whenever someone does a swap, right? Let's say from ETH to USDT, right? It's your pool of ETH and USDT that gets traded. And whenever a swap happens, the whoever is issuing a swap, they pay an exchange fee, and you, being a lender, gets a cut of this fee. And like an example is like this, right? You are putting in an ETH token, a USDT token, and in return you get like a ETH USDT LP token. LP stands for liquidity pool, and this is like a token that shows like your stake in a certain pool. It's also using an indicator to determine how much interest you get, right? And like this whole idea is fine and dandy. Like what could go wrong, right? You playing as a market maker. You are providing like your Bitcoin and USDT or whatever tokens they are using. You're getting an exchange fee. You're getting a slice of this fee. This seems nice, right? What could go wrong? Well, a lot could go wrong in reality. Picture that if a token pair is going down, right? If you are lending ETH and ETH is tanking, right? There's gonna be a lot of people lining up, right, wanting to sell their ETH, right, for USDT, and unfortunately, you're gonna be that sucker who's gonna be buying it, right? You may have bought here, and then you keep buying, and you keep buying and buying, and that's the way how these automated market makers work, right? Their job is to make sure there is a steady flow of tokens to buy and sell, and you are unfortunately the person behind like funding it, and it's your money that's going to be used. um, if you are looking to increase the dollar cost average increase efficient, that could be a good thing, but for most people they may not be comfortable with that. um, and this is all for gaining some interest and fees, and you might want to look at how much interest and fees you're collecting, right? If the interest and fees that you're collecting is greater than what you've lost, that's good, right? You are at least you're still ahead. But if your fees and interest that you collected is less than how much you are from getting from hodling, like this is the reality of this, right? That your total like pair value will go down over time, and this is called impermanent loss. And most people hope that their interest and fees will cover that. Um, right, and this is an interesting visualization as charts that shows like how much profit, well, more like losses that you could realize if you are in a pool, right? Depending on whether it goes up or down. So the x-axis down here shows that this is 100%, and if you move to the right, it shows that the token keeps going up in price, right? And this is how much value that will go gone down over time, right? You can see that if it keeps going up, people are going to want to buy the token, and it's going to be your I guess that you can be the one that's selling it through the liquidity pool. It'll be your pool that'll be selling them the token to make sure that there will always be bitcoins for people to buy if Bitcoin is doing a bull run. And unfortunately, because of that, you may be missing out on like market gains, right? If Bitcoin moves, you may have been off the rocket before it gets on. Fortunately, it's not like you can be like off all the way, right? You can be off, like there'll be a certain position you'll be off like by a certain percentage, right? Likewise, in the other way, if it tanks, right, it's you will be one that's buying, right? And if it comes back up, it's not too bad of a thing. That means you bought a lot of at a cheaper price. But if it drops to zero, you're gonna be holding a lot of bags for a long time, right? And this comes down to like your trading style. Liquidity pool. Some people do that because they're hungry for interest, and for the more volatile pairs, right? You can expect there's going to be a much higher interest, a much higher APY that they use to lure you into stake your money. It comes down to your style, right? Investing style. Whether you are comfortable with this, right? Are you comfortable with 10%, 20%, 40%, sometimes even like 80% interest, right? At the risk of missing out on moons and being the guy who buys like when it starts tanking, right? Are you willing to do that? And some people they do it so that they can use so that they can get their tokens to stake elsewhere. But it comes down to your trading, and it's always important to know your risks, right? To know your investment style and your risk tolerance. So there you have it, guys. This is the whole idea of liquidity pool in a nutshell, and I hope that you guys can learn a lot and will incorporate into your trading. And I do recommend you sharing this video if you really enjoy this. Just press like, subscribe, and take a little bell notification icon. It's so important for us to know what we're doing before we get in. You don't want to be like those guys who just buy in without doing your own research, and that's what we're all about. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next video. Peace.